and Asher's where it's always happy hour, and it almost is. What time is it over there, dude?
Like what, 1:45?
All right.
1:47.
Where's your foo drink?
My foo drink. To be fair, I had a cup of tea a second ago. So
right.
I mean, that's about as foo as it gets this time of day.
All right. Sounds good. So yeah, dude. So we haven't done this live stuff before, so figured out we'd try it out. We don't have fancy lighting or whatever, but wanted to try it out because we're going to be doing a lot more. And you have a big YouTube following that has a lot of your old stuff on that. So one, if you're on Food Fights page, check out the Ashmantoons page. You can see literally where this dude started using, what program was it?
Microsoft Paint and Windows Movie Maker.
Literally Microsoft Paint, and then to see what he's doing now. So you'll still be releasing new stuff over there, but on the Food Fight page, we'll be doing some of the tutorials. So if you're an animator or want to become an animator, Asher's got a brand new tutorial series coming out, which you'll chat about. And then we will also we have some badass things coming out. We'll give you a little bit of a taste of some of the big news that we have that's never been told. And today, and we'll chat creative shit. If anybody wants to drop it in the chat and say hello, we'll answer any questions. And Asher's going to be doing a bunch of these things, office hours, talking all things creativity. So just giving this one a first try, man. So
I mean, a lot of my subscribers, I kind of need to get back in the spotlight a little bit, so I need to upload a lot more content. But yeah, one of which will be the YouTube series, and will be a bunch of other stuff as far as behind the scenes and stuff that we're working on for Food Fight, things that I'm doing for the Ashmantoons channel. But yeah, you'll see a lot of stuff going on there.
Cool, man. So all right, so you have a YouTube tutorial series out, and it's about Moho, right? Which is the program that we use here at Food Fight. But what's different about the next one that's going to be coming out?
A lot more in depth. I mean, the first one was, sorry about the dogs. You know how it is, living in the countryside.
Yeah.
They're not even my dogs. They're just doors open, so they jump over the gate and just come in and help themselves to milk and stuff like that.
In England, you guys still leave milk outside. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No wonder why they're jumping. No wonder you have like raccoons and dogs. I don't even know if you have raccoons in England, but bring the milk inside, man, or just go to the store and get it.
Well, the thing is, like, because we live in the countryside, we get milk delivered and they leave it at the front door. They can't come into the house. So, you know, they leave it at the front door.
They haven't had milk delivered over here since like Leave It to Beaver days. But anyways, that's why you have dogs jumping over your thing to get the milk. So hope the lid's on tight, man.
Yeah. But anyway, the YouTube series. The second season is going to be a lot different from the first season in the fact that it's going to be more in depth. The first one was kind of scratching the surface, a bit of a basic kind of introduction. So I've kind of structured it as kind of the goal is to do 3. The first one is more basic, middle one intermediate, third one more expert, advanced level, shall we say. So you can expect a lot more intricate stuff in this season rather than the first one, for sure.
Cool. And one of the things I think I'm excited about is because we do get comments all the time, like, "Yo, can you get me your mouth rig and all the things that you're helping people with?" But you'll actually be involved, and people can suggest of stuff that they want to hear. You'll be doing office hours for animators that either are currently using Moho or want to learn. And again, you're a self-taught dude that's never went to animation school, but you're Emmy nominated, done a bunch of cool stuff, concerts, documentaries, all of the above. So people can actually interact and suggest some things, and they can actually interact with you, which I am pumped about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's needed. I mean, there's a bunch of people that kind of just pump material out there that they think people want to know. But if you don't listen to community, how are you going to know what to pump out? So I'm definitely looking forward to people putting their opinions if they want to put it to me. And and just interacting with the people. That's what it's about. Lockdown has definitely taught everybody that, being inside your house and stuff like that. There's only a certain amount of creativity you can kind of infiltrate and access your brain to, but when you talk with people, I mean, the sky is the limit.
For sure, man. It's a lonely world. I'm gonna drop in something we've never shared before. It's not even rolled out yet, but I'll drop it in the comments. Hopefully that works. And it's our Gumroad page, which isn't even live, and really it's live, but it's not launched. But these are not only can you get a free mouth rig, but you can actually download some starter pack stuff. So going along with your tutorial, which could be watched on a weekend, you can actually hit the ground running with getting some of those things up. So, and we'll be continually adding to that. So there you go, man. For the first time, we've told people that they can skip the line a little bit further and even go faster than you did.
There you go, man. I mean, I know back in the day when I was starting out, I didn't have any access to these kind of things. I mean, there was a few, but there wasn't that much. You know, there was like a few websites, but there wasn't really a plethora. So, you know, and definitely weren't any kind of descriptive links or anything like that you could jump on in the YouTube comments in terms of going to the page and getting these assets. So, you know, I'm explaining what you should do and trying to show you what to do, but at the same time I'm giving you the assets as well, so that they're at your disposal all in one place.
Cool, man. So what do you want? Let's jump into something like creative wise. So do you want to talk about some creative ideas that you have, or your creative process, or you just want to shoot the shit and talk about milk and cookies and dogs?
Well, I mean, you, for example, like how we both started off was milk and dogs, like going back to you. You, for example, we started off as I was kind of pushing the more creative side, should we say, and you were more business, but you've kind of come into a world where you're doing a lot more creative direction now, aren't you? I mean, and probably got your hands full in the pie, should we say, in terms of creativity. Like how do you feel, you know what I mean, you've kind of like dealt with that, and what was it, like a massive mindset shift coming from where you were before we actually hooked up together? That sounds kind of wrong, but you know what I'm talking
about. Yep, sounds wrong. So sounds wrong, but so right. The no, dude, you know, I think that's a misconception a little bit, or at least I haven't done a good job of telling that. I mean, we were doing our own thing, right? So you were doing your amazing stuff that was that I had seen with, you know, got on Gary Vaynerchuk's page, and that's where we linked up. And but I had, you know, I was doing some creative things, and we did the parody tease things that started off and with another animator that shall not be mentioned and things like that. But yeah, man, I love creative problem solving and creativity. So I definitely come from the business world, but I think they link up. And but I am always trying to push my game and do other things, like we all are. So, you know, your stuff is not just animation; it's video editing and all the Gibson Hazard inspired stuff, which there's a tutorial on and things like that. But yeah, man, we're both on good creative opposite of blocks, whatever the hell that is. But we're both in a good creative space at this point. So we got a ton of stuff coming out, a ton of cool collabs with some pretty badass people. So what about you, man? I mean, do you want to jump on the business side? You want to start doing the accounting books? I have an opening for that.
Bro, hook me up and record it. It'll be funny. Yeah, get me on a call. Like I will just talk gobbledygook and then hopefully get a business deal out of it. We'll see.
Yeah, man. Well, back to that, we should, you know, part of your tutorial, I mean, it might be setting us up for failure by saying this stuff because I am an idiot, but one of the parts of your tutorial is just walking me through how to do a simple animation from someone that doesn't, I can't draw, I can't do any of that stuff, but using the Moho starter program, which is like $70 or something like that. And walking me through specifically how to do some animation. So are you still down for that? Or do you think that's a very bad idea?
I think it's a very good idea. Literally anyone can pick up, you know, a program like this and learn it if they want to learn it. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just about if you want it bad enough, I want to try it. So the question is, John, do you want it bad enough?
I don't want it bad enough. That's a hard job, man. But it's you know, obviously it takes a certain badass creative and someone that's hardworking and all of those things. I don't know if I have the patience for it, and hopefully you have the patience for me, because it's gonna be hard to teach me, man.
Do you know half the battle for being an animator is like having patience with yourself as well? Like it's not even just like interacting with somebody else. Like there's so many cartoons and animations that I start off and I have to battle with my own brain of not thinking about the end rather than just getting on with it and going through the journey of animating and stuff, because a lot of it is like, right, it's like 6 minutes. I got to the lip syncing, which is the longest bit. And then after that, I got to the eyebrows, got to the eye blinking, got to the movement. And then you have to kind of get your mind out of the whole thing of thinking about the end line and just getting on with it. And just before you know it, the animation will be done. It's just patience and it takes time. You can't rush this kind of stuff. There's no shortcuts. Yes, there are programs out there that do make the intricate kind of, detailed processes shorter, but they're not as good. It takes time to create something good, and that's what it is. But half the battle is with yourself and with your own brain most of the times with this thing as an animator.
Yeah, man. Talk about that. These programs that are coming out. And when we started this like 6 years ago, dude, oh, time flies. And it literally is, I think September 8th or something like that is like
Something like that, yeah.
the 6th year that we started doing our stuff, and kind of joined forces. But shit, man, some of the programs out there now, it's gone from like, Animotos or Vions or whatever the hell they're called now, where, you can anybody can go in there and make these cheesy little animations. But character animate, man, someone was showing me character animate where they just took this PNG that we drew and started to animate a little bit. What are your thoughts about something? I mean, first, I think it's badass that more people can animate and it becomes easier for more people to do some stuff. I think it levels up the creative field. So I think it's a great thing. But what do you think it means for us, if anything?
My thought is, I just hope it doesn't come to the point where people start to think that they can just jump on that and just, get clients and start to earn like big bucks from taking shortcuts. And also like companies having the idea that, why should we kind of pay you X amount of money when, I can just get, Joe Bloggs down the street to just do it himself.
Yeah.
He's not got any experience or whatever, but like I could just press 2 buttons on here and then I can get an animation.
Well, cool, man. And I love that this is live and this is raw, because I disagree. And because I think it's a great thing. And I hope people can go and use it and make a bunch of money off of it. And I think that'll be, it's kind of inspiring. I think if you have the, I'm not all guru or anything like that, but if you do have the mindset sort of way of like, you believe that you can do things that you typically can. And unless you're on meth, then you probably can't fly. But I think I want people to be able to use these tools that make it easier and be able to charge an arm and a leg. And I hope that puts some healthy pressure on us to continue to do better. Look, there's more than just animating and making it easy. You got to be able to tell the story. You got to be able to, edit and I don't want to make it sound hard, because it can be easy. So I hope that more people can kind of jump into the field, and it pushes us up to different levels. And at the end of the day, the relationships that we have, those are the people that are hiring us, they're to do their concerts before we've ever done a concert, and trusting us to do that type of stuff, and then the whole team getting nominated for an Emmy on that concert that we've, again, never done one before. The level of trust that we have in our relationships, I don't think it's a threat to us. I just hope it gives us a little bit of pressure to continue to get better at, storytelling, new forms of content, like these short form vertical videos, TikToks, and all of that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. When I was saying it earlier, I didn't mean it from the perspective of I hope people don't make money. Yeah, I mean, hell yeah, like making money. Like, you don't know what people's circumstances are and what they have to do, whatever. But it's more from the respect of the art kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, people spend many years like learning how to animate and build themselves up and learn the intricate details of how to make complex animations. So I could understand somebody's frustration, like, somebody kind of using a program like this and just kind of like shortcutting up past them and that kind of thing. It must like kind of irk them a little bit. Like I could imagine that be the case.
100%. Yeah, no, yeah. And full transparency, you look at that thing and you're like, oh shit. But it's badass, and it's going to get better. I mean, think about things. I mean, the way it, like, so have you checked out Character Animate yet?
I've not fully checked out yet, no.
Yeah,
But that thing you did show me was like, so you can upload a PNG and then
I don't know, I don't speak your language and that things, but I bet you it would be super easy for you, where you put the the points of where the mouth is and all that stuff, and then it has a video and it screen grabs your face, and if you move your eyebrow, like your right eyebrow, like I can only move one, it'll actually do that. And you can talk in that stuff. So there's definitely applications for it, where you see like these YouTubers, like my kids watch I don't know what it's called, something about something panda, but it's like a gaming channel where it's like this cartoon panda on the left-hand corner, just a weird, annoying voice. But that's something that like my 8-year-old could do just by getting it set up. And so that's pretty badass. But I don't know anything other than that. And you can still animate, I think, the traditional way, but I'm talking on my ass. I don't know the program, but you should check it out.
Yeah, I have to check it out for sure. Check it out for sure.
Although Moho is our preferred choice, and that's obviously why did you choose Moho back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a preferred choice, but that's not to say that we wouldn't go somewhere else if there was an opportunity to do so. That's the program we're moving now. Moho was just a program that I found online when I was watching the kind of YouTube series online back in the day. Moho was the program he was using, so I just used it as an opportunity to learn because he was doing kind of tutorials as well, kind of like what I'm doing. So I kind of thought that was a way to go. It seemed to have like a really easy, user-friendly kind of interface, whereas programs that are more complex are just a bit more of a learning curve. So I'd say Moho is kind of like an entry-level kind of animation tool kit software, if you like, and you can there's lots of space to grow. So,
yeah, I mean, again, Moho has an entry level program that's like $80. So I think one of the benefits of it is it's affordable. So, but they just came out with a new update, and I know some big studios are using it. You know, they just got purchased, so you got to expect there's going to be some more updates. But there's an update that's out there. The original creator bought it back with a studio in Ireland, I think. Don't hold me to that, but there are some big studios using it. So it's no joke of a program. But it also is a starter way to get in, so anybody can. It makes it more exclusive. I think it's even cheaper than Character Animator, but it could be wrong. Could be wrong there. But
I wonder why. For the longest time, Moho has not been like known as the industry standard program. You don't hear about Moho. You hear more about Blender and Autodesk type stuff, 3ds Max, Cinema 4D, and things of that nature. You don't really hear about Moho. It's kind of like a diamond in the rough.
And Toon Boom, right? So I mean, you're talking about the 3D,
Boom, yeah.
the 3D programs. And Angel Cotton says level up. That's good. Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, Blender's a free program actually, right? And so that's 3D, I think. So I know people that do great work with that. You know, eventually all these things are going to be open source and free, I would assume, on some level, but who the heck knows? But yeah, I think more studios are going to use Moho, and I think that's one of our challenges. And so if you do use Moho, hit us up, because we are always looking for talented animators that want to level up to learn Moho, because we have loads of assets. You know, 6 years with Food Fight, but you had Moho. You were using Moho for a year or two on your own over there beforehand, right? It was called Anime Studio.
Anime Studio, yeah. Anime Studio Pro. Yeah.
And yep. So yeah, we have loads of assets, which is awesome. We've become a real big deal. I was going to say, but I stopped myself. But why not? But our studio's grown from, it was like, dude, when we started this, it was when we joined forces with it. It was you, me. It was a comedian, Penny Prince, in Vegas, does the voiceovers, and it was our boy Mike Yogi, who kind of did the operations and the website, and definitely was part of the creative on our Helmet Talk series, which blew up. But we've leveled up. Our studio's leveled up since the last year. I don't know how many people we are, but I think it's like 11, 12, 15. I have no clue. It's always changing, but we've leveled up in a big way. So I think as we grow, and we're not going to ever be this behemoth studio unless someone wants to acquire us, call me. But we're looking for more. So if anybody wants to learn Moho, start with Asher's tutorials, hit him up, and we got some more coming. If you already know Moho, definitely hit us up. Or if you're just some badass creative, because we use After Effects, Premiere Pro, or if you use some random program, hit us up anyway. It doesn't matter. We're always looking to meet badass people to create cool things with cool people doing cool things.
Yeah, man. Who is your bit of a random question, but that's me in a nutshell. Who is your favorite cartoon character, or who was
when I was a kid?
Cartoon character? Yeah.
He-Man. I loved He-Man, Masters of the Universe. That's my favorite cartoon of all time. To a point where I still watched it, and I've only watched the first episode on Netflix. They have a new one with that dude Kevin Smith from Clerks.
Oh yeah, I saw it. There's a lot of mixed reviews about that. What's your take on it? I
can't give it a take without watching the whole thing with it, but I saw it. I saw the first episode. It's definitely not as. I mean, what I loved about, I can still watch that He-Man Masters of the Universe one now with kids, of course. I wouldn't be with myself, but
that's a lie.
I do watch cartoons, but not by myself, but not with that one. But it's not the same vibe. It's more of I don't even know how to describe it because I'm not in the industry, but it's definitely more serious, more for adults, I think, than the other ones was just more for like life lessons from Orko and shit like that, or whatever the hell the guy's name
Yeah,
was.
I mean, they seem to be doing that. Like a lot of these animation companies are now rebooting these old school kind of cult classics now, but they're making it more for adults rather than children, aren't they?
Yeah, my favorite cartoon still right now is Teen Titans Go, man. And it's my at one point it was my kid's favorite cartoon, and of course there's so many damn cartoons on there that you lose their attention span for a while, but they still love it. But Teen Titans Go is badass because that's for kids, but they're old parody 80s and 90s jokes that I get, so I just think it's brilliant. And I mean, they have an episode where it's like every animation studio goes, they get the milk. Is that your dog again? Get the milk. You got to get that milk in. They have an episode where it's relatable to animation studios, a bunch of them, but one of them it's like they have the villain is an aggressive deadline, and it's like that's the villain, and it's like this big piece of paper that's like Godzilla size, but through the whole thing they're trying to figure out how to like beat the aggressive deadline, and it's like, all right, well, let's not move our mouths anymore, so they like cover their mouths, and then they're like, we can't do these action scenes, but if we do them off camera, like, so like, and it's just so funny, but it's related. So any animation studio or anybody that loves animation, I think that works for them, works for kids, works for me.
Angel says, yeah, Angel says my kids watch Teen Titans Go as well. But the thing is, like, I've heard you make reference to that so many times, with something to do with some stuff of our work. A lot of the times was with Sonic. Yeah. A lot of the times was with Sonic the Hedgehog. You spoke about that. Yeah.
What I love about Teen Titans Go, because I think what I like to do is look at our style, right? It's different, right? But it's not like hand drawn Little Mermaid, Moana. I mean, this is Animation Magazine, right? So this is what the stuff that gets in there. It's not that, but but it works for what we do. I love it, and I know a lot of other people love it, and that's what we get commented on it. So
yeah.
But what I love doing is creating things that look badass that don't necessarily take the time of a hand-drawn frame by frame scene. So Teen Titans will do these things where they're like flying or kicking in the air and there's effects flying by and things like that, but it works, and they can do action scenes without having crazy action movement. So I love doing things like that.
Yeah, and there was another. What was the other cartoon you said? I think you showed me a snippet once, and they kind of use a mesh of both animation and cartoons, but they have the backgrounds.
The Amazing World of Gumball.
Yeah, that's the one. The backgrounds are real, but with like cartoon effects. Again, that's a good shortcut there. You don't have to draw out the scenery and stuff like that. It's just more concentration on the animated forefront, if you like.
Yeah, and shortcuts. Maybe it's not. I mean, our friend LP would tell us like it's all about the language. Shortcut could be the way. I think shortcut is a great word. Some people think cutting corners and shortcuts are bad things, but
it's great. I think.
Yeah, no, more and more people are doing it. More, and they're just it's just thinking smarter. It's how do we? At the end of the day, it's not the style. It's like, what are we trying to convey? What's the intent of the stuff that we're trying to produce? If it's a Mitch Hedberg, comedy skit, it's a clear intent of what we're trying to do. So if it's a music video, there's clear intent with what we're trying to do. But I love, and this goes back to creative problem solving. The stuff that I did in business and stuff, but creative problem solving is like, this is our deadline. We have 26 days to put on an entire concert at the Apollo Theater, or we have 30 days to figure out this audio for a documentary film about Newton's second law of motion and physics, and I got a D in physics. The second time I passed it because I think the teacher had a crush on me. He was a dude.
Mr. What?
Oh, what the hell was his name? I don't want to even call him out publicly because he's a nice guy. I don't care. Well, actually, he's kind of a pervert. But I was also like in my third senior year. My transcript says 12 A, B, and C. So I was probably like 20, which is not, not that bad. All right. I hope Angel's not watching still.
Yeah, she's definitely watching. She's going to comment. Give it a few minutes.
Up early. Appreciate it. But yeah, man, I mean, that's what I like to try to do. What about you, man? I long-winded chatted about that, but what is your
What?
favorite cartoon stuff?
Yeah, man. Well, my kid doesn't really watch anything that I can really draw from. I mean, she watches Coco Melon. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but every other morning, what is it? She just watches Coco Melon and sing alongs to these songs. But while she was playing with her blocks on the floor the other night, I randomly just switched on like an old Popeye clip, like what I watched from back in the day. I think he was playing Aladdin and Olive Oil was playing Princess Jasmine and the other dude was playing Jafar. But it's more to do with like, and it was like a 1940s type film, like cartoon animation film. But it's the aesthetic of the whole vintage thing from back in the day that I'm obsessed with. I love the whole simplicity of, I mean, there's nothing, if you watch any kind of 1930s animation process clip, it's very detailed. Like they're literally doing frame by frame and putting it on these weird projector things where they're literally moving a paper cutout of Donald Duck, for example, and then moving it bit by bit. And it's like they do it over maybe like 1,000 times or over 100,000 times just to get one scene. It's ridiculous. But it's just the simplicity of just the outlines and the drawings and the simple colors. I mean, obviously, to your point earlier, you were talking about making things look really good and the colors and stuff like that. But a lot of times, I think we're swayed, but there's too much going on. It's more of the story sometimes that you want to put out there and have the viewer kind of concentrate on. So if you take out the element of detail and the element of colors and stuff like that and keep it black and white and monochrome, it's a completely different feel. And it's so cool. Like, have you ever heard of like Zagreb School?
Nope.
They do like really vintage old school animations, and it's just like the simplest movements and these really like faded, dated looking aesthetic over these cartoons and these styles, and it's so cool. But the stories are great. But it's in terms of in betweens and extremes, and everything that Richard Williams stated in his book, like it completely breaks the convention of that, and it's just a completely different way of animating. Like anybody in an animation studio right now, a conventional one would just throw up watching it, but it's just it's the story.
Yeah.
So
So
cool.
let's put the link in the in here because I want to check it out.
Yeah.
And if anybody else wants to check it out, that'd be cool. All right, man. Well, we'll wrap up. But do you have any like? I have a crazy. I'm kind of vibing on this crazy content idea I have. But do you have anything that you want to chat about of content ideas?
Content ideas.
If not, don't force it because we can do another one. We can do a whole other thing where we kind of pitch each other our ideas.
Yeah, I've got nothing in my immediate conscious right now. If you want to go ahead and say yours.
All right, this it's crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's crazy good or just crazy because of who right. So you know how we did the Mitch Hedberg cartoon stuff where we took old clips of his stand-up jokes that were amazing. Unfortunately, he passed away like 15 or 20 years ago or something like that. But his jokes were just amazing. And we animated them and kind of brought them, one has 500,000 plus views on TikTok. But essentially I just love the concept and the idea of taking genius artists, whether that be music or comedy or whatnot, that aren't around anymore, and kind of bringing them to attention of people that weren't even alive when they were born, type stuff. So selflessly, that's the goal I really wanted to aim with the Mitch Hedberg stuff. The guy was just so funny, and his jokes are just badass. And I just wanted to kind of share that with people. But on that vein. And I got this idea with this dude, James Quindall. So shout out to James for walking through this with me. And he's a guy that does James Altucher's "Make Me a Millionaire." So James is going to make this guy James Quindall a millionaire. But we were chatting about like AI and stuff, and I was telling him about the whole, what I like about bringing Bill Hicks and George Carlin and Patrice O'Neill, for lack of a better phrase, back to life, which is maybe insensitive, but. You know how I started the program out today. So I'm pretty insensitive, I guess. And he was like, well, AI, what if you used AI, like artificial intelligence, and had a conversation with them? So or just had them make up songs and things like that. And Eminem, there's an AI version of Eminem's, like just written, like they input all of Eminem's lyrics and what he sounds like, and it sounds pretty cool. Have you heard that?
No.
So how cool would it be? And maybe this is insensitive, but how cool would it be if we do podcast animations where we ask real questions to like people that aren't around anymore, right? So inputting like stuff and and stuff that you always wanted to ask of like Tupac or Biggie or something along those lines, or Mitch Hedberg or something, right? I don't know, but AI is at a point now where I think that's possible. I don't know how affordable it is, but I think it's possible. And essentially animating, everybody always says like, if you could interview one person, who would it be? Or if they were not living and living type of thing, right? So how badass would that be if you could actually ask, it's not them, right? But if AI is getting pretty badass now. You could tell I don't know technology because I use badass instead of the technological word. But we could input stuff, and you could ask
probably
sophisticated. No, you're not a techie guy either. We could tell.
Yeah,
all right, stick to animation. Stick to animation. I just think it'd be badass. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you could ask a question, you don't even know what that answer would be, but it would be spit back out from somebody that you wanted to chat with? Who would it be? First off, who would you interview?
I don't know. You put me on the spot now, man. A few people. Tupac, definitely. One of them.
Tupac, right? So Tupac, right? Wouldn't it be badass just to be able to like ask him questions?
And it could be as hell. Be really weird. Be really weird, actually.
Yeah. All right, you're not in. You don't like it?
No. I am in for sure.
Well, they do the hologram of him now, right?
So they did, yeah, and that was really weird. Can you imagine if you were high at that event and he just came out of nowhere? I'm sober, and I don't think, I definitely wouldn't say no for sure. I'd definitely be up for that. It would just be really weird.
Before people, like, you're sober, it doesn't mean like you're not like in recovery, right? You just don't drink. You're a straight edge dude.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm, not nuts.
Yep.
So
I don't know, man. I think it'd be kind of cool. Now, obviously, there, who knows? People would say this is awful. I would definitely prepare for that, but I think it could be pretty badass. Like asking Tupac what he thinks of like today's music, or something along those lines. I wouldn't ask like, you still hate Biggie or anything, right? So I don't know, but I think it would be badass to be able to, because we have everything. We can animate it. It's a podcast studio. It's something completely different. We would just make a disclaimer with it that obviously this is not really them. It's just fiction.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are the legal things about this? Like, someone who owns so-and-so's stock or whatever, or
yeah, I don't know.
Come and try and claim some stuff.
Is there Tupac stock out there?
Anybody? I don't know.
There probably is an NFT of Tupac in it. If not, let's get on it. I don't know, man. Just a crazy idea, but I think it'd be cool. I think we could pull it off. Pretty low.
I think it'd be cool. Almost like an afterlife type podcast. The podcast of the afterlife, and we interview all these people. Like, what really happens of just trying to think of somebody.
Or like, what do you think of trap music? I don't know. Right. That, you could do a bunch of different things. It's super early in my mind. Literally, it was like 2 days ago that I started thinking about it. I downloaded some like AI program for like $5, and this dude created an AI program who his fiance died, so he created an AI program where he could put some input things, and then he kind of have conversations with her. Which, so I downloaded that thing for $5, and it was like, I just started chatting with it. And it was like, you are selfish. I was like, what? Like, just started ripping into me right out of the gate. It's like, it didn't say selfish. It said like, I'm a grumpy prick or something like that. Like this AI thing. I was like, hello, I want to learn more about AI. And it was like,
yeah. What does it sound like? Does it sound automated? Like the words have been,
so this one is just a chat. This one's just a chat.
Just a chat. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but look, so if we got just a chat, I mean, just do it. I don't want to put you on the spot. Like, you knew it was coming because you just cleared your throat. So do your Notorious B.I.G. Impersonation, right?
Hello, my name is Notorious B.I.G.
There you go. That's not it. No, you got it. You've done it real well.
It
was all a dream. Just sing it was all a dream. Biggie
It
Smalls.
was
All right,
all a
do your mouth again.
dream.
Yeah.
I used to read Word Up magazine, salt and pepper, and everything up in the limousine.
Yeah, that's why you're the star, man. Yeah, dude. I think you get a guy like Penny or you to do some of those things, and we could recreate it. I think. I think it'd be badass.
So, okay, so yeah. So have I misunderstood this? So the AI doesn't actually have a voice from the people.
Some of the AIs do that. So I think if you look at the
Right, 'cause-
Eminem song, like you just upload the stuff, and so it might work. It might work where we do it that way, or it might
Yeah.
be. I mean, I haven't even thought this through, like most things.
Mhm.
But it might be where we do an impersonation, or it might be where they're able to spit back out the stuff. But we'd want it to be
Hopefully.
natural. We'd want it to be as if. That'd be kind of,
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm imagining the AI you're talking about to like not sound like a robot and almost sound really natural. And then you could literally just input some words in, and it would just sound like the person's talking back to you. That's why I was talking about spooky earlier. But if it sounds like and then taking different sound bites from different conversations, it just won't sound natural. But who knows, man? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what it sounds like.
we'll see. You like the idea or not? And you're not going to hurt my feelings.
No, no. I mean, I like the idea. I think it's cool. But like I said, it will just be weird as hell. I open a lot of doors. Well, I don't know what doors to, but
hell. No, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be done if we do it respectful and all those things. I think it would be very unique, get attention, and it'd be badass to do. But anyways, that's that, man.
Emotional. It's been emotional, man.
That's
First
that.
live. I hope you all had a good time.
We'll do more, man. So you'll be doing some office hour type things too, right? So look, our audience is different. So some people come just to see our stuff, and unique. Some people come to see our music videos, right? With like Arsenal the Rebel or Wyclef or whatever, and some people come to see our parody, Mitch Hedberg stuff, or not, or Mitch Hedberg stuff, or some people come to see our parody Rudolph stuff, or we're just taking a piss of shit. Some people definitely come for your tutorial. So we're going to be doing a bunch of different things, right? So that food fight page is going to have all of the above. We're just about to start pumping out some more stuff on there, and including your tutorial series. So those that want to become animators and want to learn the process of animation from a dude that never went to animation school, learned to draw and animate just through other YouTubers. You're kind of giving back into that space. There'll be the tutorials over there. So if anybody's on Ashmantoons page, follow us over there. Anybody's on Food Fight page, certainly follow over Ashmantoons page and check him out. And but we got loads and loads and loads of stuff that's going to be in the mix, and you'll be doing some live office hours. People can ask you some questions.
Indeed.
So, any last words for this?
I ain't got no last words. Besides,
we missed a meeting already, man. It's 9:25 here, so.
Well, we could literally just jump off this meeting and jump into the scrum now.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, Sharon's right. Late anyway. So.
Are you gonna say like smash the likes or subscribe or anything like that?
No. Smash the like sounds too violent. I don't get that. Just tap the like button. It does exactly the same thing. Don't break your computer or your phone or however you're watching this. Just take time, chill out.
All right,
but push the like button.
Push gently touch. That sounds like very British of you.
Caress
gently
the like button.
Yep, caress the like button and the subscribe button. Cool, buddy. Had fun. We'll do more of these things. We have these conversations all the time. We're like, why don't freaking record it? Maybe we got ourselves in trouble or myself in trouble, but whatever. It's who we are, right? So
cool. All right.
Peace.